Hey, what's up, guys? You're listening to the It Takes a Village podcast. I'm Ashley, your host. This is where the struggles are real, the callings are heavy, the kids are sticky. We come together because it takes a village, and this is your tribe. All right, guys, so it's day 5,679 of Corona quarantine, and I'm going a little insane inside. Are you? Yeah, so cool. Let's talk about... No, but seriously, I think this is only day 4, and this is going to be tough. I don't know about you. I am not completely an introvert. I'm not completely an extrovert. I do, however, like to be outside of my house and like to go things. I think mentally, probably it's worse on me because I don't like the idea of being locked down, even though we're not technically like locked down like other countries are inside their homes. Like I can still go on a walk and stuff like that. It's just the feeling of me not being able to go somewhere if I want to go somewhere, go to a restaurant if I want to go, that sort of thing is driving me a little insane, not to mention our kids are getting tired of each other. So that's fun, I hope I'm going to be praying for you guys with multiple children, because I just have 2 elementary age children and then an infant, and that's tough. So I feel completely drained by the end of the day. I feel like I have nothing else to give. I feel like all day it's, mom this, mom that, and it's good. It's so good. And I want to express that, like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. I don't know what I would do without them. And I feel like we all feel that, but it's also extremely taxing mentally to just give all day long, no matter who it is or what you're doing, whether it's in your job or at home. And it's really hard, especially day in, day out. And to the magnitude that it is all of a sudden, like, overnight, we're just with each other all day, every day, 24/7. And we're trying to figure out a routine. We're trying to navigate this new time. And it's not like any other time that we've been through. So it's different. There's added stresses, financial stresses right now for some of us, and just different things going on, family members that you may not be able to see. There's lots on your plate, which you probably were already juggling like 5,000 of them. So, what's one more, right? So I wanted to hop on and do an episode real quick about something that I feel like is super important right now, and that is your mental wellness. I don't know about you. I've had one episode where I felt like, oh, shnikes, like if this is what postpartum depression is, I don't want any of it. And I think I mentioned that like 3 episodes ago, and it's mainly due to my thyroid hormones that just when my TSH was so high and just things were all nutso, it made me feel like I was in this fog, in this depression. And so we can do the same things right now with all the overwhelm and all the stress, especially if you are an introvert, especially if you you feel drained from little ones that just need you. You're, especially if they're teeny tiny guys, like it's hard and they don't know how to do independent play. There's lots of things that go into it. And so your mental wellness right now matters more than anything right now, because you are the leader of the ship, right? And if the captain goes down, the ship goes down. And if mom's not happy, nobody's happy. And it's just important for you, just as it is to exercise, to eat right, to get the, amount of sleep. Your mental wellness is just as, if not most important than all those things. And the effort that you are putting into your kids' days now that they're home, like you're planning, you're executing the activities, all that needs to also go into how you take care of yourself, which is hard because 1, you're trying to find the time, right? And then 2, we are stubborn about putting ourselves first, and reluctant, and all the things, whatever you want to call us, we always tend to put ourselves last. And self-care is so important. Your mental wellness is so important. And I don't know if I could stress that enough. I've at least spent 5 minutes now. So let's get on with this episode. Let me give you some tips on what I think would be helpful in this time for you guys, for us, for me, to stay sane, because That's pretty important, right? I don't want to see any of you guys on the news doing something crazy, like streaking through the streets, when it's a ghost town. Like, I don't need to see that on YouTube, guys. So firstly, we just have to make time for ourselves in that schedule, that perfectly designed Excel spreadsheet schedule, the printout schedule, the chalkboard schedule, whatever. There needs to be a defined mom time, because if you don't do it, it ain't gonna happen. You know this. We know this. Like, every time we've planned something or to do something and we don't write it down, we don't communicate it with the village of ours, it doesn't happen, because it just doesn't, right? Like, the husband will plan something or the kids will need something, but if it's on there and you let everybody know days in advance, hours in advance, like, this is going down, I will not be available, then everybody can prepare, right? Like, the husband can get his goggles on, strap his rain boots on, and like let the kids go nutso in the puddles outside. Like, he will be prepared. Otherwise, it just doesn't happen. And I don't know, everything just seems to get in the way. But if it's planned, then it's like, nope, I'm doing this no matter what. And it gets done. And that's important because we need it, like I said. So make sure that you're taking that time for yourself. Get with your hubs, like, let him know, hey, which day would be best for me to do this, which time. Like, maybe it is even in the morning that you say, like, hey, this morning I'm going to wake up a little bit earlier. I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to do all these things. Like, go use the other bathroom when you get up, okay? Or go do breakfast and a TV show with the kids. Go do Cosmic Kids Yoga and breakfast with the kids. I'm going to do this for myself. Or, whatever. You can do it morning, afternoon, night, whatever works best for you and your family. That's what you need to do. That's what we need to make happen. And then go in a separate room to signify that you're unavailable, because I've tried to work in the same room with my kiddos, or even though they're occupied, right? It always happens that you're like a magnet. As soon as you sit down, they like just gravitate towards you, even though they're watching a show. Or it seems like, at least whenever I go in there, if they're watching a show, they're like fully engaged when I'm doing nothing, like absolutely nothing. So I'm like, cool. I'll go get my laptop. Like, they're engaged. I'm going to go get some work done. I'll sit in here with them. So I'm like somewhat, involved, somewhat present. And then as soon as I open my MacBook, bam. What are you doing, Mom? What's that, Mom? What does that look like? Who's that? Tell me that, Mom. Oh, scroll back. Let me see that, Mom. That's exactly what happens every single time. So go to a different room, so that way it signifies for not only yourself, because we tend to get involved, like, right? Like, when we hear, oh, I can hear the laundry going off, I'm going to go do that real quick. Or, oh, this is happening, I'm going to go do that real quick. Either we can't pull ourselves away because we're not physically in another room, or they gravitate towards us. And so, like, this transitioning into another room mentally tells us, I am separate from my children right now. Like, this is my time. It's a transition. It mentally, like, signals to your brain, like, you are no longer in the public, part of the household, whatever. It's true. I may not be able to scientifically explain it, but it's true and it makes sense. So just do it. Okay. Drink a glass of wine. No, you can, but this is my second tip, is to find something to transition the evening. So all day long, you're mom, employee, CEO, boss, whatever. You're like balancing several different hats, but that is you all day long. At nighttime, we need something to help trigger in our brain, our mood, physically, mentally, emotionally, that we are now in relaxation mode. We're in wife mode. We don't have to play the same role that we played all day long, and we can, bring it down a notch, bring it down 10 notches. And sometimes it's a hard transition, right? Like, you can't just flip the switch. So for me, it's drinking tea, getting in my jammies, taking my makeup off. It's like a routine of transitioning to, okay, now I am done. I'm done for the evening. This is my way of telling my body, like, you can tap out now. And so whatever it be, if it's a hot bath, a hot shower, a facial that you're going to do, reading a book after you've washed your face, getting your jammies, getting in bed, and then reading a book with a snack, tea, a glass of wine, just something that you enjoy, and then make it a nightly habit so that way it's just like any other habit that you create. When you do it over and over again, your body's like, okay, cool, it's time to relax now. All right, I got this, right? And your hormones can come down, your fight or flight can come down. All those things are helpful in the evening for you to transition and use something tangibly to help your body transition from mom mode to, wife mode and relaxation mode. Stay off of social media. So my third tip is to be just really mindful right now about how much you're watching, because I feel like I've been on my phone more. I don't know about you, but it just, because of the isolation and because of just all the news and wanting to be updated, wanting to see what other people are doing, which is great. I'm getting lots of ideas from my friends on Facebook about what they're doing with their kids, and then I can do it with my kids. But we just can't do that because it's information overload and it's stress overload, and we're maxing out we're just maxing ourselves out with all this information, all this stress. And if you already feel stressed, if you get stressed easily, don't do it. Like, be really mindful about at least what pages, if you're going to go on social media, what pages stress you out. Be noticing how your body responds to certain news channels, certain social media influencers pages, different feeds. If they're posting things and it looks like everything is picture perfect and it's stressing you out because you don't have it together yet, like, I don't have it together, go watch my page. I mean, I don't know, go find somebody who really encourages you, lifts you up during this time. And really, that should be any time. I feel like I'm going through my accounts all the time and deleting people because at first it was fun to watch them, and then I find myself comparing myself to them, and it sucks. And then I feel like I'm just drained. I get down. I start just going through all the negative thoughts in my head. And then I'm like, oh crap, I'm doing it again. Like, this person is so great and I know they don't mean to, but that is how it's affecting me. So I have to, for my well-being, unfollow them right now. So I think that we need to just be really mindful of that and just be really mindful about leaving our phones aside. We're going to get the information, you guys. Like, we're going to get it. It's going to be okay. If it's important, your husband will text you, your friend will text you. I'm sure somebody's going to let you know. You're not going to miss something. And just put your phone in another room, especially if it's charging. If it's plugged into the wall, it's harder for us to like walk around with it, which is what I feel like we do all the time, is walk from room to room with it. Like all of a sudden we're Beyonce and somebody's going to be blowing up our phone all day with appointments and schedules, and that's not true. So at least for the most of us, it's unnecessary for us to carry our phones around, and it's just causing extra stress and anxiety. So just be really mindful about who you're watching, what you're watching, how long you're watching, and just be really, really careful about being on social media right now. One platform I will say that I'm having so much fun with right now, and I'm probably so lame for doing it, but it's just really uplifting, especially if you're mindful about who you're following, is TikTok. And I'm on there, guys. You can search for me at the Ash Carroll, same handle as this place. This is a podcast, I don't have a handle. On Instagram, I'm at the Ash Carroll. On TikTok, I'm at the Ash Carroll, so you can find me. Lots of other moms are having lots of fun on there. It's fun to watch. It's lighthearted. So if you need to watch something, if you need to just like get out of your head and you need to hop on social media, that is what I would suggest doing instead of going to like some news page. But it is like so addicting, y'all. So try not to get sucked on it. I found myself getting sucked on it, and that's when you know you're like over 30, is when you're on TikTok and you just can't stop watching all the TikToks. Anyways, so that is my tip number 3. The last couple tips I have for you is incorporating a quiet time, a household quiet time where maybe the kids go to their rooms and you go to a separate room. And you guys, I work in a Montessori school. I've seen it. I've seen kids of all ages, from toddler all the way to elementary, do an independent play, which means they're playing and entertaining themselves, and they can do it, you guys, like 2-year-olds. I've seen them without any parent, like intervention or intervening or whatever, getting involved, like they're able to independently play and entertain themselves. And so at home, they should be able to do the same thing. You just have to give them that freedom. And just know, like, they're in the next room. You don't have to close the door, but they will be okay, especially if you have the right safety measures placed in their rooms and the toys. Obviously you don't have choking hazards down if you have little ones. And so I feel like having that practice, because if you aren't in a Montessori school or they're not in an atmosphere where they get that daily, it's good for them to learn how to do that on their own, because it's a good life skill in general. So quiet time is good for all. It's good for everybody to recharge, and some of us just need separation from other people in the house, and we get refueled by having a break from others and being around other people. So incorporate some sort of quiet time, and then also lastly, get outside, take a walk, do something with your body, some sort of movement, some sort of outside activity, because getting fresh air, especially when you're stuck inside all day, helps everybody feel better. Moving your body, just getting out and stepping outside and making the transition from home to a different area helps you also mentally, like, transition into another mental break time during the day. So get outside, find something to do, whether it's a walk, meditation in your backyard, hide and go seek, something outside, something moving your body. And I hope this was helpful to you guys. If you find this helpful at all, share it with a friend, share it with another mama. And I hope you guys are staying healthy, staying well, and taking care of your mental well-being during this time. And I will catch you guys later.